Countdown on the clock again. Feel like I'm playing in a game that I can never win. Time is running out, I know I gotta make a choice. So many whispers in my ear that I can't hear my voice. Tell me, will it end the situation that I'm in? Or am I bound to sit alone, drowning in my sins? Get right or get left, what will it be? Time is running out, my blood is flowing.
What's up, everybody? Welcome to the Loot Bros Podcast. I'm your host, Resident Darrell, and tonight we have the three amigos. We have myself, the bearded nerd. What's up, Zach?
What's going on? Welcome back.
How you doing? I like your haircut.
Thank you. It's like we all look the same now.
I know.
You, me, and Matt G are the three balded, bearded bros.
That's right. That's right. And then we got coming in clutch, Kalai. What's up, Kalai?
Hey, what's up? Don't lie, you did that to be in solidarity, didn't you?
That's right. We did that for Jim.
Yes, 110%.
Yeah, 110. That's right. It's funny, actually. The first time I ever shaved my head was for my goddaughter who got diagnosed with leukemia years and years ago. And I was already on the path of baldness. I was born that way, actually. And what I did was I took an already balding head that I was basically going to like a one guard on, and I just took a straight razor to it. And when I did, it was the greatest thing I ever did. It was awesome. I loved it. Still love it to this day. It's a good look. So I dig it. I dig the bald beard. All right, guys. So here we are, Loot Bros Podcast, coming in to talk some shop, talk some games. This episode will go live on Hell-O-Ween. So this will be the first time I believe we've ever recorded the podcast and it actually goes live on Hell-O-Ween. So with that being said, we're going to be talking some spooky stories. We're going to be sharing some gaming ghost stories. I think that's going to be pretty exciting. I think we all got some cool stuff planned. At least I know I do. So spoilers, it's going to be a blast. And then we also have our normal run of announcements. We have a Patreon. You guys, most of you have heard me at least talk about this once or twice. Definitely check out the Patreon. There's tons of content on there, tons of early access content on there. We are just adding more and more to it each and every month. Your Patreon perks, you get a monthly episode of what we call the Super Loot Bros, which is a roughly 1 hour long topical podcast. You get at the $5 tier, you have the Loot Bros Deep Dive. This month's Deep Dive is going to be on Final Fantasy 15. I was pledged to play this one, knocked it out a few months back. But since Joe really sucks and doesn't have any of his stuff prepared, you guys will be getting my final pledge. And I mean, really sucks. So we'll be talking Final Fantasy 15. I've been kind of sitting on this one for a little while because I was trying to line it up to get T-Bird on there with me. Unfortunately, I haven't been able to make that happen. So it's just going to be your boy, Resident Darrell, talking about his time with Final Fantasy. Did I say Final Fantasy 15 earlier? It's definitely Final Fantasy 7 remake. It's 7 remake. I don't know. Final Fantasy 15 came out of nowhere. I don't know why I said that. That was a lie. Also, we have the monthly Nintendo Driftcast, the Loot Bros Nintendo Driftcast, where Kalai, Joe, and Matt G all get together and talk about all the drift in their sticks.
Until Joe ghosts again.
Until Joe disappears. Ooh, it's a spooky Joe. And then we have the Loot Bros Comic Cast. So what I've been doing on the Comic Cast is in a very random and sporadic way, I have been reviewing older New 52 issues. I've got a stack of Bloodborne comics that I'm definitely going to be pumping out here pretty soon. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to alternate between a Bloodborne comic to kind of do a current series. It's an indie series. And then I'm going to go and knock out some of these New 52 villain takeover books. The covers look really great, but so far the stories haven't really stacked up. So it's really, my interest has kind of waned on it. So I want to spice it up a little bit and balance things back and forth. But all these monthly episodes that we give you, you get early access to them by being on Patreon. So if you sign up even at the $1 tier on the Patreon, you get the Super Loot Bros. You get any bonus content we do, including these podcasts. And you get early access on these podcasts because what we typically do is we record them. We stick them on the Patreon for a little while, and then they go into their own respective feeds. Some of them don't have their own feeds yet, but maybe they will. Maybe they won't. Who knows? And then we have the newly released Loot Bros WrestleCast. So Zach, you and Joe got together and talked some wrestling, which we put in the main feed a few days after it went live on Patreon. So,
which you're fired.
Why is that?
Because it needs to go live on Mondays.
Oh, the main show goes live on Mondays.
Well, normally the show will go live on Sundays. So yeah. So for future reference, normally the show will go live on Sundays unless we have a premium live event that don't go live on Monday.
Interesting. So yeah. So there you go. Loot Bros WrestleCast. It sucks already. All right. I'm just kidding. No, you guys did great. It was good. So definitely check out the YouTube. We are going to be adding new content to the YouTube, and we've already started. So if you go to Loot Bros YouTube, we've been putting the podcast on there. So each and every week, what I do is I take a static graphic, I put the podcast on there. Last week, I couldn't get on the show due to some scheduling issues. So I did it, and I took Kalai. I appreciate you knocking out your little solo episode. So I took that, and I did my own solo episode, and then I put them together. But I did my episode with video, just kind of feeling it out, seeing what kind of feedback we get. If you guys are interested in having more of a video experience with this stuff, let us know. Definitely write in, comment, check it out. So far, the show's kind of playing out about how all the rest of them do. So we'll do a couple of those. I'm going to be dropping some videos that I'm currently working on. I know, Zach, you and I have a little bit of a challenge going for the month of October. I don't know if you're ready to talk about that at all, even give an update on it. But
yeah, I mean, we can. I finally successfully have found my first physical game. It's a miracle. Okay. It's like it finally happened here in the land of the 2.8 million people that live here versus the 134,000 in my main city.
There you go.
But yeah, I finally found one. And other than that, it hasn't been going the greatest. I've made a couple offers on a couple of different things, and everyone's like, nah, I think I'll pass on me.
Dude, I found a grail item. I found a literal grail item, a game I never thought that I would be able to own. And I have an unbelievable deal, but I have to drive 70 miles one way to pick it up.
Are you going to do it?
Oh, I don't know, man. I don't know. I messaged the guy and I asked him if he would ship it to me, because I'd be more than happy to pay more than what he's asking to get this particular grail item, and I'd be willing to pay the shipping. But I don't know. We'll see. I don't want to say the name of it yet, because if I got it, bruh. I mean, the thing is this: I could drive out to that city tomorrow and pick it up.
Yeah, but by the time you pay the gas and everything, would it be worth it?
Well, correct. You're talking 70 miles, so hour and a half one way, in the morning, and then an hour and a half back. You're talking 3 hours of driving. My time, my gas. I mean, that's not very cheap. Which I told him that. I was like, you're 70 miles away from me. I'll gladly pay the shipping. If he says yes, I'll even, I'll give him double what he's asking, because I'll still save money. But I have a grail item, and if I get it, this will be one of the best deals I've ever gotten. And it was off Facebook Marketplace, which I usually don't score big on Facebook Marketplace. So, but I'm compiling a video right now. I might have it done this weekend. We'll see. But basically what I did was I've been filming myself going, and not like literally with a camera on me, but a camera. So, okay, see this right here? Now, obviously, we're not doing this episode in video, so for the audio listeners, I've got the equivalent of a GoPro. It's a 4K action cam. And eventually what I'm going to do is I'm going to have one of these strapped to my chest when I go, game shopping, game hunting. And then I'll film the footage of me finding and doing these challenges that Zach and I are going to lay out for each other. But in the meantime, until I got this little bad boy right here, I've just been using my iPhone and trying to capture footage of myself and my kids at yard sales, flea markets, and things of that nature.
Which iPhone do you have?
I've got the 11.
Because that might almost be better video quality than your actually little camera there.
I mean, the video quality is pretty good on it, and it might be, and it might be that I need to just use the problem is with my business, my phone is always going off. My phone is always ringing. My texts are going off. My Teams are always going off. My emails are always going off. So it's very frustrating when you're trying to shoot video. And like a lot of the segments that I've been recording are kind of short bursts because my phone is just go. And since I took the sales manager position in our branch, like now I'm the point of contact for our account executives. I'm the point of contact for our teammates. So like my phone just, especially during the week, it's not as bad on the weekends, but during the week, if I'm hunting during the week, it's like constantly going off. So having an actual camera is going to be better for me in the long run. But I do think that it, compared to my little action cam versus my actual iPhone footage, I think they'll be comparable. Maybe the iPhone will be a little bit better. But what I've been doing is I've just been kind of taking video of what I've been looking through, some of the yard sales we've gone through, and I'm compiling footage from all of that to release, in that first week of November in video format so that everyone can see how bad I spanked Zach's booty in this challenge.
I mean, you probably will. Let's be honest. I did find a very notorious name in horror gaming, but it not the most notorious. I'm really trying to work for this one. This guy hasn't messed me back today, but we'll see.
Well, I hope it works out for you because I scored pretty good, and then I scored again, and then I scored again. Now, granted, some of these aren't great. Some of these scores aren't great, but essentially the challenge that you laid out in our Facebook group, which if you're listening to the show and you want to get involved in the conversations, the shenanigans, the memes, all that good stuff, you can go to our Loot Bros Podcast Facebook group or our Discord. So Zach, you got on there and you laid out a challenge saying basically for the month of October, you and I need to go in the wild, go on Facebook Marketplace and find what would be the most valuable or rarest horror game for under $20. And your suggestion to work your way up might even be to trade up. So maybe you get like a $2 cheapy horror game, common game, and then you trade that up for another one, you trade that for another one, trade it up. All right. The rules were do not use your sites like eBay, Amazon. I would lump in Macari and Shop Goodwill. You know what I'm saying? Any of those online retailers or online auction sites. But we did agree the Facebook Marketplace was okay as long as it's local. Okay. So what I've been doing is I've been going to yard sales like crazy. I've probably been to 30 yard sales. And dude, I kid you not, and I was messaging you for like the first 3 weeks, there was nothing. There's nothing. So I've got a lot of footage that I'm not going to use, but there's a lot of footage where I'll just kind of like zip through, or you might have 30 seconds of this yard sale, a minute of this yard sale. And my kids, it's so funny because they want to do YouTube videos so bad, but like, I don't really like to do it. I don't like being on camera. How long have we been doing the show together? And we're just now turning the cameras on. Right. I'm just now starting to record a video. And the reason why is I got to get better in front of the camera because I have to do a lot of stuff for my business on camera. So what better way to cut your teeth than on the podcast, right? So it's not my favorite thing to do, but filming away from me, game hunting, I can do that. You know what I'm saying? The camera's not on me. It's on what I'm looking through, my thrifting and all that stuff. So we had a good time. The kids really enjoyed it. There's going to be some little bloopers. I'm getting ready. There's going to be some little bloopers in there where it's like, I say bloopers, but little funny bits where my son, every time he saw the phone in my hand, he was like, Daddy, are you recording? Daddy, you recording? Are you making a video? Daddy, you making a video? Are you making a video? I said, son, I swear I'm going to loop you saying that over and over and over. But we're having a good time. The kids are involved. So your challenge has actually turned into an activity for me and my children to do together that they're really enjoying. So for that, thank you. And this toast that we're getting ready to do, that we do at the beginning of every episode of Loot Bros. Look at that. Look at that Celsius. Look at that. Look at that orange, baby. Hey, you want to bang?
Bang.
Yeah, bang. All right.
Bang.
Aha.
Yeah. All right. So this week's toast goes out to our Patreon producers. We have Redbeard Rick. We have MZ Nitro. We have Dat One Seagull. My name is effing Mayo. And we have Sadik, the king of the Xbox leaderboards, even when he's not. And this week, I also want to toast to the mother effing Snyderverse, baby. It's coming back. Lord. Yes. Henry Cavill's back as Superman. Let's go.
Yeah, one fucking spoiler.
I know, right? Freaking The Rock didn't even let anybody see the movie. He's like, yeah, he's back.
Right?
Also, in the way of announcements, two more things, actually. Good Lord, we got a lot tonight. Two more things. So I know I haven't said it in the past few weeks, but if you guys go into the description of the each and every episode, you can check out our promo code for teds-collectibles. If you go on his Etsy store, use the promo code Loot Bros, you can get 10% off of your trading cards. You can get your own platinums, achievements, all that good stuff. Hey guys, check this out. See this right here? You can't see it if you're listening to the show, but the crew can see it. See that? That's the Dying Light Platinum Ted's collectible trading card. Look at that, Kalai. Do you have this?
No, but feel free to buy it for me.
No. Here, what about this one? Resident Evil 5? Look at that. See that platinum? What's that? Spec Ops the Line? That's another good one. Hang on, one more.
So wait here. I'll make you a deal. So if I get 5 platinums for the end of the year, not in Rat Plats, you're gonna buy. Will you buy me a set,
dude? Yeah, because you won't do it. There you go. You joined the trophy competition and you're playing Xbox.
Hey, Modern Warfare 2 though. Oh, we'll talk. But
you could have been playing it on PlayStation. You could have been playing on PlayStation.
No, because I didn't bring a PlayStation with me out of town. I have the PC, but I can't play it on PlayStation on PC.
But you joined a trophy competition.
You're right, and I already have my first 2 platinums planned out for this competition.
Let's go. Tell you what, you get 5 plats, I'll buy your cards for you. That's happening. That's the deal. You heard it here, Loot Bros. All right, here we go. Let's go around the horn. Let's see what everybody's been playing. Kalai, you seem very preoccupied tonight.
I don't know. Well, I had to get through all those announcements.
They are great announcements. Some would say the very best announcements.
So I have been playing Marvel Snap.
I have too. I have too. It's so much fun for like a little card game. That's actually what I'm playing right now.
Yeah, I was really surprised how good it is, and the microtransactions I feel are very, very low.
They're minimal, if none at all. If you really want to like you can get away with like none at all. Period.
Yeah, what level are you?
I'm about to load my collection level here in a second.
Can you guys explain to me what Marvel Snap is? Because I keep seeing ads for it, but I don't. I mean, in Facebook, but I don't know what it is.
It's
like a card game, but essentially, what each of your cards have certain abilities, and then you have to win with the most power at 2 areas out of the 3 that are. Then you
there's 3 locations. There's 3 locations. You have 6 rounds to play your cards. After that, you are whoever wins, and you get little cubes. That's how you level up. If you lose, and it's called Snap, you can double the amount of winning experience you get. But if you lose that amount of experience. I don't know if you realize that or not.
Yes, yeah, I've won on double snaps a lot.
Me too. What's your username on it?
Bearded
nerd usually.
Bearded nerd.
Let me look.
Yeah.
My collection level is 130.
Really? I think I'm close to that too.
That sounded like a subtle flex.
I've been playing it a lot. I don't lose a lot of games.
I know. I made a really, really good deck with just all level 1 characters.
I have a deck like that. I have a deck that synergizes off other things too. Where is my username, bro?
I'm up to 104. I just wish there was a way like we could be friends so I could play you.
Yeah, I don't know how that works. There might be. Or maybe that's something that'll integrate in the future. Yeah, my collection level is 130 at this point.
Yeah, and this game is, I think, also on Switch.
I don't know about that.
You want to look it up while I can?
I'll look it up while you talk about it. Yeah.
And like the neat thing is you can collect the cards, and then you can level up the cards, and you can go from like a regular standard card to like a 3D image to like an animated So the whole point is to level up your cards and make them look cooler.
Yo.
I've also been playing Cult of the Lamb. I kind of got back into that game because I really need to beat that game. I bought a new game this week. It just came out. I have not had a chance to play it. I don't know if you guys are kind of old enough to remember do you guys remember the Garbage Pail Kids?
Oh yeah.
Yeah. So we all saw your post, Kalai.
Come on, it's awesome. It's the Garbage Pail Kids. So I bought that game, but I haven't had a chance to play it yet. It's on my list. Hopefully this weekend, because last weekend I was at my mother's house, so I really didn't have a lot of time to play anything.
I get that.
Yeah. I actually went out and saw Rocky the Musical.
How was that?
It was actually really good. I was really surprised.
Nothing crazy. Hey, Rocky.
Oh.
I mean, they did a great. Yeah, well, here, funny story. I've never seen Rocky. Right? I know.
What?
I know. And my mom was like, "How could you never have seen Rocky?" I was like, I was 2 years old when it came out. She's like, "No, it wasn't, Kalai. That would make me old." So, and we're in line to go to the bathroom. And the woman in front of me goes, "Now you're making me feel old." And my mom's like, "Well, she's my daughter." So we got back to our seats and I looked it up. Rocky came out in 1976. I said, "Mom, I wasn't even born when Rocky came out."
Dang, flex on your mom.
So they did a fantastic rendition of Eye of the Tiger, which was pretty funny. So then we get home. We get home and my mom's like, "I gotta find Rocky. You gotta watch Rocky." Thank God she couldn't find the movie. Just gonna make it. But we went out to this really nice restaurant. We paid a lot of freaking money. And the food was terrible. It made Jim sick. So at 1:00 in the morning, I was cleaning up after Jim. So
oof.
Fun. Yeah. So I really haven't had time to play a lot of stuff. But
I dig that. All right, Zach, what else? What have you been playing?
Okay, started playing the Modern Warfare 2 remake campaign. My God.
It's good.
The opening scene made me wet myself.
Okay.
It made me go doing.
It made my pee go.
No spoilers, because I feel like Darrell's going to get it soon, and we'll do a deep dive on that. Maybe that'll be next month's deep dive.
Dude, I have been not buying games, so
I don't care. You're going to buy this game. You understand?
Not to interrupt you or anything, but I was trying to figure out what systems Marvel Snap is on.
iOS, Android, Windows.
Oh, okay. And I just saw an absolute article that said Marvel Snap lets you kill Uncle Ben over and over again.
Jeez, that's messed up.
It's okay. I saw a Macho Man Randy Savage promo the other day, and I was like, he did. What's wrong, Darrell?
My wife.
Spider. So I've been playing that. I've also been playing Marvel Snap this week as well. I haven't really had a lot of time to play games. I got in a couple of games of Schmite on Tuesday, I think. Tuesday.
Okay.
Monday or Tuesday. I don't care. I got a couple of games to Smite in, which was nice. Got to play with the boys a little bit. Got to just kind of relax and decompress. I've been working a lot. And then I'm actually going to tonight, whenever we're done recording, I'm going to start playing through Stray.
Okay.
And I think
Speaking of Stray,
that'll probably be my first platinum.
Well, follow a guide, because
it's
I understand,
if you can get it in 8 hours if you follow a guide.
Mm-hmm.
Yep. Well, that's the part of our competition that's great, is they have to have guides.
Oh, so you're doing another competition?
No, the game where the competition we're in, the game has to have a trophy guide.
Okay.
It has to have one, or he doesn't count it as legitimate. I don't know why, but I mean, okay. I mean, cool. I'm cool with that. I'm gonna go through trophy guides for everything. I think I'm gonna do that one, and then I don't know what I'm gonna do next. I have two things written down, but I'm not 100% sure what I'm.
I dig it.
So I'm gonna start streaming and playing Stray on PlayStation Plus tonight. I still get them trophies.
There you go. That's all that matters. Got to get them.
Did you just say you're going to start playing tonight?
Yeah. What?
Yeah, he's an insomniac.
Except didn't he just go over? He didn't bring his PlayStation?
PlayStation Plus on my PC.
Yeah, he can play that. He just can't play Modern Warfare on his PC.
Yeah, because it wouldn't count. Oh, I can, but it wouldn't count as PlayStation. It would literally just count as Steam, probably, or Activision Blizzard. But no, I pre-ordered the Vault Edition for Xbox. Get the fuck out of here. I'm gonna get my achievements too.
Gotta get them.
Gotta get my achievements. But yeah, that's really all I've been playing this week. I did. Oh, Darrell, you're gonna be excited about this. I've never played a Silent Hill game. I downloaded the Silent Hill HD collection, the Silent Hill 2 and 3.
Yes. I was just talking about that on my solo episode. It's good stuff. Stuff.
Downloaded it. It was on sale for $20 during the Hell-O-Ween sale for Xbox. So
actually, I think I was talking about that on the Super Loot Bros. I think that's actually when I talked about it. But either way, yeah, I was just recently on one of the episodes I've done. I talked about that briefly, and yes, because it's awesome. And I don't care what anybody says that those versions, they're like the lighting is different. They beefed up the lighting in it, and they changed some things so it doesn't look as good as the original versions on the original hardware. But those games, they've patched them. They work well. They work great. I played through Silent Hill 2 last year. Chef's kiss.
Oh, and another thing I'm really excited about. You guys won't hear this before the other episode airs. I'm going to see SmackDown tomorrow night.
Oh, dang.
I'm excited. I'm really excited because it was weird. We were recording the random episode, or we were recording our first episode, and I was like randomly, like in my head, I was like, hey, I wonder if any live wrestling events are going to go on while I'm there. And as soon as I typed in, I was like, there ain't no way the first Friday I'm there. I was like, bet. I was like, here's my money. Take it.
There you go. Sweet.
What you been playing? I know you've been busy this week.
I've been busy, but not necessarily playing games. So there's really only 3 games that I want to talk about that I've been playing. Number 1, Ghost of Tsushima. It is absolutely excellent. Been playing the fool out of it. I think actually I can bring up my time right now.
I know this game is so good. And like when I first started playing this game, I was like, I'm just going to go ahead and I'm going to totally just play it real quick. I'm just going to run through the story so that way I can talk about it. And you know what? I just can't. I cannot bring myself to actually just run through the story. I'm having way too much fun. I'm not going to be done for the deep dive. Not going to happen. There
is a very strong chance that I won't be done either, but that's okay. I'm bringing on 2 guests that not only have completed the game, but one of them, he's brand new to the community and he'll be brand new a guest on the show, but he has really, really, really pumped and maxed out all his Legends characters and playing the online for it. So I've got us covered with some experts in the field that we can have conversation with. Now, it's probably gonna be a rowdy episode, so I just want to throw that out there.
Yeah,
but yes.
Is there going to be spoilers? Because if so, I just can't show up.
Well, absolutely. I mean, that's what we're doing.
Yeah.
Okay, then I might not be able to show up for that one because
it's a spoiler episode. It's our game club. We got to talk about the game. So we can probably deviate from spoiling the ending, and some of the main story beats. But I mean, there's going to be a lot of conversation about the game. That being said, I've been playing it. I am 30 hours in. I just looked at my time. I am 29 hours and 28 minutes into the game. I'm in Act 2. And it is so much fun to play. The game, like I thought the same thing, Clyde. I was just going to like mainline the story. I can't do it. Like I'm just crazy playing through this game, having a good time. And I do keep finding myself going into the areas where it gives you a warning and says you're going into an area with overwhelming resistance or something like that. And I keep finding myself still trying to take everybody on, even though they shoot flaming arrows and kill you almost instantly. But it's good. It's quite good. I'm enjoying the game. The gameplay is so fun. The lighting engine in this thing, holy crap, dude! Holy crap, it's so pretty. That I've been playing Lego Batman 2 on the PlayStation Vita. So my most recent platinum trophy is a Lego Marvel Avengers on the Vita. And that game I had a very bipolar love-hate relationship with. When I liked it, I really liked it. When I wasn't feeling it, I really wasn't feeling it. And that is very much just something with Lego with me. Like, they're fun when they are fun, and then they are not when they're not. And essentially the way these Lego games kind of break down is you have to beat the games on story mode, then you have to beat the game again in free play mode, then you have to do all the grindy one-off stuff and unlock all your red bricks, get all your mini kits and things. And since I don't work so hard physically, like with my job now is a mentally strenuous job, not a physically strenuous job, I stay up way later than I was for years. And now I'm up till midnight, just sitting in the bed beside my wife, watching horror movies and playing the Vita while she's passed out. So the past few nights, I've watched both The Thing from like 1970, whatever, John Carpenter's Thing, and then I watched the 2011 Prelude to The Thing. Both of those are pretty good movies. And then I've just been playing the Vita, just kind of chipping away on it. I beat Lego Batman 2, and I'm working on the platinum now. So that's going to be my next platinum for sure. And the only other thing I've been playing, and this is something that I am very, very surprised that it's good at all, and that is Resident Evil Reverse. So if you own Resident Evil Village, then you get access to the free multiplayer mode that they made, and it's called Reverse, and it's basically a arena shooter with Resident Evil characters in it. Yes, it came out.
I just assumed that it never came out.
Well, they delayed it a year, and then now technically tomorrow, on the 28th, as of the time of recording tomorrow, the Resident Evil Village DLC comes out with the third-person camera mode and the Rose, whatchamacallit? The Shadow Rose, Story Rose, whatever it is, the DLC, essentially, the kind of end, the Ethan story, whatever. The multiplayer mode, Reverse, was launching with it. So it's out. It's pretty good, man. Like, it's surprisingly good. Like, I thought it was going to be like Umbrella Corps, you know? Like, I thought it was going to be like really, like, not great, but a good time if you got some friends together. Like, the first day I couldn't get in because the Capcom ID thing wasn't working. So the second day it went live, which it went live on the 24th. I started playing it, and I just kind of played through some of my breaks throughout the day on my lunch break and stuff. Oh my gosh. I was like, really? I mean, don't get me wrong. It's very limited. There's a handful of characters. It's got a very basic early access battle pass, because technically it's early access until tomorrow. But it's got 2 maps. It launched with 2 maps. I don't know if they're going to have more maps starting tomorrow. But it's got 2 maps, the RPD, police department, and the Baker's house from Resident Evil 7. And essentially, it's an arena shooter. It's just deathmatch. But once you die, you turn into an enemy, and then you can fight each other, fight enemies. You know, like a molded creature or one of the creatures from the different games. Or is when you're playing as a human and you're running around, you know, having the arena just shooting people. If you find vials of the virus, like, the more you pick up, the more the different permutations and mutations you turn into. So, for example, you might start as just a regular clunky molded from Resident Evil 7, but if you get 1 vial of the G virus, you turn into one of those sewer monsters from Resident Evil 2 Remake, and they have their own set of abilities. If you get 2 vials, you might turn into Jack Baker from Resident Evil 7, or you might turn into the Nemesis or the Tyrant, things like that. So it's very interesting, the different characters that you can be and the abilities they all come with, and it's very much like a class-based style shooter, so each character has their own abilities. I got 9 out of the 12 trophies that it launched with in the first 48 hours. Just playing casually, just having a good time. So it's quite good. I enjoy it. It's definitely something that I'll continue to play. I wanted to put a crew together in the Loot Bros podcast group to 100% this thing. It's going to be way easier to 100% than I expected because a lot of their multiplayer stuff is really grindy. So this one just says complete the battle pass, and then basically you'll accomplish everything else naturally. So it's pretty good. Pretty good. I'm having a good time with it as a Resident Evil fan. It's some fun, nonsensical little shooter. And if you own Resident Evil 8 Village, you get this game. So there's no reason why you shouldn't at least give it a shot, in my opinion.
So all I heard was Darrell's PP has went badoing.
Somebody was listening to Eminem before the show. Yeah, it's good. It's quite good. I like it. So I know we said we like to do the leaderboards and stuff in post, but I'm going to run through them real fast because I've already got everything brought up. Okay. For our backlog beatdown, I'm going to start with that actually, just because I've got that menu brought up first.
Oh, I was going to say, did you want me to do that?
I mean, if you got access to it, I mean, you look like you're deep into your game over there.
I mean, I have it up because I brought my iPad up thinking I was going to have to do it, and then I remembered you do it in post, and now you're not doing it in post. So
I totally see it's curveball. Glad you're ready. Okay, good. Then you can go ahead and do the backlog beatdown, and then I'll jump to the leaderboards after that.
Okay, let's start with I'm Styling on You, Bro, with 146.
Yeah.
CJ Anderson with 99.
Yeah.
You got 99 Problems and a PS5 ain't one.
Oh.
We have Diago at 96. Redbeard Brick at 94. Darrell at 91. Oh, Darrell, you shut up. That's why I wanted to read the boards off. Joe at 71.
You know me too well.
Gareth is at 70. JT is at 61. Jared's at 39. I'm at 24. I'm getting there.
Yeah, you'll hit 100 one day.
Zach, you're at 21. And
yeah, Zach.
Oh, 42J, which is my husband, is at 7.
Sorry.
So.
Okay. Yeah, I think most of the bottom half hasn't changed much lately.
No, that's why I was kind of only reading. Like, I knew Jim just did a new game, so I read his out.
Yep, most of the bottom ones, like Zach, most of the bottom ones haven't really changed much.
I went up 2 points. Thank you.
Oh, okay. Maybe you'll finish your game before the year's out. Maybe not.
I gotta get 5 platinums.
That's what you say. That's what you say. I just don't.
All right, in all fairness, 5 platinums is a little bit more achievable than 100 games in a year.
True. We'll see what happens.
I said they're not going to be rat plats.
Okay. Well, let's see what you got then, big boy. Let's see. Bring it on. All right, here we go.
By the way, I did not realize, and this was my fault, and I'm very sorry. I have to apologize to Tricky.
No,
he's not going to actually listen to this, so I'm all right. I didn't even realize that we could replay games that we have already played, as long as we didn't play them this year, which is like, I guess I got confused because, I thought, backlog beatdown, but no.
Yeah. I mean, we did give everyone the opportunity to replay games that they played maybe last year before. And
as long as you're starting a new game, you can play that game this year, and then as long as you play it on a different console, you can play it more than once this year, actually.
That's right. As long as you don't play the same game 2 times on the same platform. So very nice. Awesome. All right. So we're going to head over to our True Trophies custom leaderboard. We got Steigen Wolf 4 in first place with 251 trophies. Now, on True Trophies and True Achievements, when you create your little account and you put your gamer tag on there or whatever, you can have a little bio. I love reading everybody's bios when they put them on there. So Steigen Wolf says, check out my YouTube One-Up Wonders. So a quick little plug there for Steigen Wolf. I've never checked out your YouTube, but you know what? I see it. I see what you did there, and I'm going to check it out. Okay. Second place, Affectatious Donk with 77 trophies. Affectatious Donk's little bio, fully erect. That's what it says, man. Got to read it out. Third place, Resident Darrell with 48 trophies. Not a bad week for me. So my bio says check out my podcast, Loot Bros, and check out my band, Ninja Loot. There you go. And if you're listening to this episode, you get force-fed Ninja Loot songs. So you're welcome. In fourth place, we have Mr. Matt spelled backwards with 31 trophies. And then in fifth place, the Grounded Gamer with 26. So yes, sir. Yes, sir. Some good stuff right there. And then the Loot Bros podcast custom leaderboard for the Xbox nerds. We have Sony Pony 2U with 1,515 achievement points. And Mr. Sony Pony has been playing some Gotham Knights. I'm a little sad I didn't pick that up. I got to be honest. Like the reviews are bad. It sounds like the frame rate's janky. It's got some bugs in it. So this really screams of a game that's going to need a little bit of updating and polishing to make it
I'm not going to lie. I'm really surprised that you haven't picked it up because you're a big DC fan.
Probably the biggest one you know. The thing is, I'm sticking to my guns. I'm really trying to not buy new games. A couple things. I don't know if you guys have noticed, but the mortgage business really sucks right now. So,
yes, we've been there.
Yeah, I'm not making a ton of money right now, so I'm trying to spend as little as possible on things that I don't need. And then the other thing is I've got so many games. Like, it's really hard for me to go spend $70 on Gotham Knights when I've got Ghost of Tsushima that I've owned since it came out, and we're in the middle of a game club for it. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Right? Not to mention, I keep, for my eBay store and for our little challenge, I've been gobbling up older games for cheap. So it's like I could spend $70 on one game, and realistically with Gotham Knights, so that my son and I can play it together, I'm going to need to buy it digitally so I can share it between the two consoles. So I can spend $70 on a digital game that seems like, from all the reviewers' perspectives, it needs some work. Or I can spend $30 and get stacks of games. You guys see this? This is one of my pickups from the other day. Look at this. I got 2 PS Vita games, 4 PSP games. Ask me how much I paid for all that.
$20.
Yes, exactly. $20.
And how many games are you going to play out of that?
Well, I'll probably play these. So
you play MLB The Show?
Yeah, actually, funny story. When we went on our anniversary trip this past last week, the 19th, well, the weekend before that, we actually hooked up the PS Vita TV in our van. Check style out. And we put MLB The Show on there, and we played Minecraft. Which, the Vita version of Minecraft, it's only single player. Can't split screen. So, yeah. Anyways. So, yeah, some cool stuff on there. I mean, I got another copy of FIFA and a copy of Madden right here. So I already own these games. So the resale value is still pretty high on the sports games for Vita. So part of me is thinking about selling them and buying more Vita games. Another part of me is thinking about just keeping them, because currently I have 87 or something PS Vita games physically. So I don't know. Hadn't decided yet. But Xbox leaderboards. Second place, GDI Master Race, 1,507 achievement points. That is GDI's biggest week yet since he's been on the leaderboards. Congratulations, my friend. Very good. Very good. Third place, I'm styling your bro with 515 achievement points. He is chipping away at the Master Chief Collection. He has beaten the first 4 Halo games, and it looks like he might be going for some completion of stuff there. I don't know. It's very good. And then in fourth place, we have Sadik with 510 achievement points, playing some Vampire Survivors. Have you played this yet, Kalai? Because this sounds like your style of game.
No, I haven't. What type of style game is that?
So from what I understand, Vampire Survivors is basically like a one-button game. It's an auto shooter, and it's very like 8-bit style. From what I understand, it started off as like a browser game, but you get tons and tons and tons of enemies on the screen, and it just kind of auto shoots. You just point where you want it to go. But it's got, I guess, some roguelike aspects to it. I've heard other podcasts talk about it, but I've never played it. So, but I hear it's very addictive and very fun. And just when I hear people talk about it, I think, oh man, Kalai might like that.
Oh, I'll have to check it out, because I can find the one button.
There you go. Hey, gives you up. That went over my head for a second there. Wow. All right. You know what? I'm a little palate cleanser here. I have 87 physical Vita games. So. That's neither you nor there. All right. 5th place, T-Bird 803. He is still alive, hanging in there. 370 achievement points. He's been playing A Plague Tale Requiem, which I also really, really, really want to play that one. So,
the original or the second one?
Requiem, the new one.
Requiem,
oh yeah, that's on my list.
Innocence.
It's on Game Pass, so if you want to cheat the developers out of getting the full money.
No, I totally want to get game. I'm gonna probably play it on Game Pass. I just it's just been so crazy. And then this weekend, I was like, yeah, I can have a chance to relax this weekend. No, this weekend, because if my life has not been hell enough with the fact that my father-in-law passed away, we put my mother-in-law in a home, we had to sell their houses, I had to kick my husband's cousins out of this place they were squatting in so we could sell it. Jim had surgery. If that wasn't enough, I had a leak in my roof, and when I had a roofer take a look at it, he's like, you need a new roof, and I only got one 10 years ago. So on Saturday at 7:00 in the morning, the roofers are coming to start demolishing and putting a new roof on my house, and my mother is coming up to pick up the meat she bought for me. So,
jeez,
yeah,
staying busy.
I am staying busy, and I'm like, I just don't want to do. Last weekend it was hysterical. I was like, I'm gonna sit down. I'm going to play me some Ghost of Tsushima. Every time I sat down, I had to do something. My mom was having computer problems, so she couldn't stop complaining. She was like, I'm going to buy a new laptop and go work someplace else. So I had to go Google that, figure that out, get down, I have to get up and do something else. I'm like, I just want to play Ghost of Tsushima.
Play some games. So that's funny.
Story of my life. I literally wanted to sit down before the podcast and play more Call of Duty, and since Call of Duty releases tonight, it's like, hey, here's the fattest update ever since you only have the campaign. And right. I'm on hotel Wi-Fi downloading it 4.37 megabits per second, trying to download 63 gigs.
Good luck.
Isn't it though? Isn't Call of Duty the worst thing to play on opening night because of the fact that it's everybody wants to play it?
I don't care about the multiplayer. I just want to play the campaign. The campaign ain't online; it's offline.
Yep. But yes, you're right. Everyone pounds those servers on open night for Call of Duty. So, but all right. So here we are. We only have one, maybe two community questions for the week. All right. So we're going to knock those out real fast, and then we're going to jump into this week's official topic, which I think is going to be quite a fun one.
Twat.
You're a little early there.
Whoa, he did come early.
I've been out here talking about my podcast with a couple of work peers, and then one was like, I'm going to listen to I'm going to give it a listen. And I'm just like, oh God, this is going to be dude, really find some things out about me.
I got a really funny story. Oh, I'm sorry, you keep going.
No, I just told him he was going to really find some things out about me.
Oh, that's so funny. So we're at this past Saturday, we had the final cookout / hangout with our kids' soccer teams. I coach 2 soccer teams still. And one of the dads was just announced in front of everybody, all the parents, all the kids, how's the gaming podcast coming? And dude, it embarrassed me. I was like, why am I embarrassed that I do a video game podcast? But I just wasn't prepared. You know what I'm saying? I didn't realize. And it seems like he listens to it and he was just kind of asking how things were going, but he announced it in just a way that I was like, I just was caught off guard. I was like, it's going good, man. Just, I was unfortunately I missed last week, but it's going good. And I really wanted to have a conversation with him about it. But I wasn't prepared for someone to announce that I do a video game podcast in front of other adults, which I don't know why that matters, but it just caught me off guard. I was like, I'm a nerd.
Oh, that's our. I have another funny story for you.
Go for it.
So my new job, they sent us we got our laptops. We started working. We're doing a whole bunch of training, and like they're like, I'm looking at training videos, and they got they're sharing our screens, and I got this one little screen. I'm like, oh my god, I miss having my second screen. Well, last week we had gotten an email. Do you want one or two screens and your keyboard? I was like, oh, I want two new screens. So I'm like, I'm getting two screens plus my laptop screen. I'm gonna have 3 screens set up at home. It's gonna be fantastic. I'm all excited. So people start getting their boxes. I hadn't gotten mine yet. And one of the girls goes, oh, my monitor came, and I didn't even realize it was for me because it said gaming on it. And I thought my boyfriend had ordered some kind of gaming thing. And I'm like, what? So I'm texting Jim, who's in the room next to me. I'm like, one girl got her monitor. It said gaming on it. He's like, Clyde, they're not going to send you a gaming monitor. That was stupid. Like, it's probably like, an advertisement. I said, oh, it's from Dell. And Dell does have the Alienware division. So it's probably just advertising. Yeah. He goes, yeah, get my new actual monitor. It's very big, which you really can't see it right now on my camera. I think if I do this, I'll be able to show it to you. It's kind of over there. It's huge. It's for like a work at home situation. It's like 27 inches, and I'm getting a second one. Getting a second one.
There you
so
go.
I get it. I finally get a chance to put it up on my 15-minute break. I throw it up. I fix everything. I'm like, oh my god, Jim, it's so big. So I had.
Oh my god, Jim, it's so big.
And my monitor's here.
Yeah. So I'm like, okay. So I go to PT. I had to go physical therapy, and I came back, and Jim's like, I want to apologize, Kalai. They really did actually send you a gaming monitor. My monitor is literally, he's like, it's like 1 millisecond.
There you go.
Yeah, it's called the OmniLine from Dell. It's an actual gaming monitor, and I'm getting a second one.
That's awesome. Good job. Yeah, I bought a gaming monitor for myself for my work at home situation. So I've got a 32-inch TV in front of me that I use, and then a 27-inch curved gaming monitor. These two are not the same. Like, they look completely different. So I've actually got my PS5 hooked up on it because this is a 1440. I don't remember the refresh rate, but it's good enough. It looks great. And then this is a 1080 60. Seeing the two side by side, oof. Yep. It's crazy. So, all right. Let's knock out the community questions. I think there's 2. Matt G, our good friend and co-host of the Driftcast, writes in and says, do you believe it's okay for stores to start selling Christmas decorations before Halloween has officially happened? Starting with you, Kalai.
Oh, definitely not. I can't even. And like, by the time we get to Christmas, you're already going to see like Valentine's Day candy out.
Yeah. What about you, Zach? How you feel about Christmas decorations hitting the store shelves before Halloween's over?
I like Christmas, but I like Halloween better. Fuck off. Let me sing my spooky tales. I don't want to hear jingle bells.
That's right. Did you just rhyme? What are you, Eminem?
Unintentionally.
Bro, my brother and I went to lunch together today with a coworker who's leaving our branch. And there's already one of my brother's neighbors already has all their Christmas decor out. Like, they skipped Halloween, Thanksgiving altogether. Like, it's legit. They had everything.
Nope. I would make sure that a couple of light bulbs go missing from their lights, and they have to find them all and replace them. And I'd also make sure I pop their inflatables.
Dude, the whole 9. The whole freaking yard was little drummer boys and candy canes and everything.
Joke's on them. What I'm going to do is I'm going to roll up with some crazy string, and I'm going to put some spider webs on that bitch.
There you go. Do it. One of my neighbors actually has like a graveyard set up, but they have Christmas lights running the yard. So they kind of did something with the 2 of them. It actually looked pretty cool. It almost looks like, I'm sure it's not the case, but it almost looks like you could take the tombstones and all the spooky stuff out, and then boom, Christmas is still there. So that'd be some next level stuff. If you could actually stage it. Yep. You put them all out, right? And then you just interchange the big ticket items with spooky to Christmassy stuff. So our good friend Jared, the old stink palm, writes in, says, today is Thursday, Resident Darrell. You need time to make your Sony pony costume before Monday with a question mark. So I think the word due is supposed to be in there. I think he's asking me if I need time to make my costume, not necessarily telling me I need time. So I'm going to address both. Yes, it's Thursday. This is the new recording night for the Loot Bros podcast. Do I need time? No, I don't need time because I'm a pirate this year, not a pony. There is a difference. And if you're telling me I need time, well, thanks for looking out. But I think I'm good.
I'm just going to point out to all of our users that one of the biggest games on the Xbox is Sea of Thieves, and you're going to be a pirate. So therefore, he's going to be an Xbox guy from now on. He's given up his pony ways.
There you go. Maybe I am. Or maybe because I want to get Matt G on the show to teach me how to be an emulator or how to use emulators. Maybe I want to be a pirate. Maybe I want to steal my game.
JT messaged me something that was happy and sad today. He's like, I'm midway through the episode. Go scuff or go home. And I was like, oh yeah, you really? Yeah. I was like, well, I'm glad you're enjoying the controller. He's like, yeah, I'm about to buy the PS5 DualSense scuff controller. He was like, I'm gonna buy that one now. I was like, oh no.
There you go.
He's converting. No, don't do it.
Dude, both my red PS5 controller and my black PS5 controller have drift.
And next on the Driftcast, Resident Darrell.
Dude, yes. It's crazy. I was listening to a podcast the other day where people were complaining about their launch controllers not having drift, but their other ones having drift. Well, guess what? As of today, my launch controller is starting to get drift too.
Guess what? Still ain't got drift. Go scuff or go home.
Dude, that sucks, man. Like, this is ridiculous. My Joy-Cons have drift. My Xbox controllers have drift. My freaking PlayStation. Like, I got to learn how to fix these things because I can't afford to keep buying new controllers.
Buy Scuff once and you won't have to buy any controllers again.
Is Scuff really that good?
Yeah, 110%. I play shooters on a regular basis. Those are like, so I'm jamming on these and moving and like slamming these joysticks and they had nothing. Everything's still the same as the day I got it.
Thing is there's 4 human beings that use controllers in this house, and I ain't buying Scuff for all of them.
Hey, all I'm saying, yeah, but what I'm saying, you hear me out. Guess what? When we were kids, we had to deal with it. They can deal with the stick drift. You buy yourself the nice controllers.
This sucks, man. I was pissed. I bought that Midnight Black controller when it launched because I was like, dude, this thing is sick. And it's got drift. I bought my son, it was $75 for his Crimson Red controller. Drift. And I'm like, I'm over here not using these expensive A controllers, using my launch controller. And then today I plug it in. I'm playing, and it's happened twice now where it's slowly wanting to drift off. It's only going to get worse. Sucks. So, all right, here we go, guys. This week's official topic. Since this episode is launching on Halloween, we decided we would get together and tell spooky stories, specifically ghost stories. Bonus points if they're gaming stories. Collide.
What?
Oh, I didn't even realize that they didn't have to be gaming stories. Damn it. Okay.
What?
There you go. I pitched it as gaming ghost stories, so we want to keep it in the gaming sphere. But yeah, I figured someone would bring a story that didn't necessarily have games in it. So
I could totally do that.
Do both. Do all the above. Which one you got? We'll go around the table. Maybe we'll go around twice. We'll see what happens.
All right. So one of the second house I ever lived in, I was like 3. My sister was like 2. We lived. It was a really nice house against the water. My mom was home by herself because my father worked. I was a particular type of child that didn't sleep, cried a lot. So my mom was pretty much exhausted between working and taking care of us. She takes us to the living room, and she lays down, but she's not going to fall asleep because, we're young. You want to keep an eye on children that young. And she actually does fall asleep and doesn't realize it until she gets woken up by the ghost in our house.
Ooh.
Yeah, it's actually a true story. So that's my first one. I know I'm not very good at telling ghost stories, so I'm sorry. If you don't like this episode or my stories, you could blame Darrell. That's
Okay.
Darrell at the podcast, the Bros Podcast.
That's right. You can write into our Gmail, the lootbrospodcast@gmail.com. All right, Zach, you're up then. Let's see if you can tell a spookier story than Kalai.
Spookier story. Well, once again, it's Thursday night. We're recording and Joe ghosted us.
Come on, don't take my stories.
That's Kalai's.
That is my story.
Hey, you just said to tell a story. You didn't say it had to be a story about me.
Oh my gosh, that's so funny.
So actually, I have one that is about Quake. I found it. It comes from thegamer.com. It's the best Reddit video game horror stories.
Okay.
This article reads: AI's gaining sentience is a staple of science fiction and horror stories. A story we've heard many times before. Chillingly, for one player, it seems like it became a reality. According to their account, Quake 3 bots were designed to learn, so they left 16 bots fighting it out in an arena to see how good they would get. When he went back to them a few years later, the bots were just standing still. As others pointed out, they seem to have realized the only winning move is not to play. When the admin entered the game, they found they would simply rotate on the spot and watch their movements. Fragging one of them instantly brought the bots wrath, with them being killed instantly. When he looked at their AI logs, he found that each bot's AI took up 512 megabytes, bigger than the game itself.
Dang.
So he literally left these bots. So these bots learned enough in the couple of years he left them alone to know that they could just instantly kill him by not moving around. How do you let it? That's computer programs learning things is a little freaky.
That's dope.
Especially Quake 3 of all games. This game is literally it's older than you.
Yeah, that's pretty old.
It's not older than me.
I know, you're really old. We've already talked about this, Mom.
You gotta love how he throws a jab at me, but it also is a backhanded comment to you.
All right.
Hey, I'm really good at talking shit, all right?
All right, so check it out. Here's my story.
Oh boy.
This might blow up the microphone a little bit, but I gotta set the mood. Oh yeah. It was a dark, stormy fall, early morning. So what I like to do is I like to go down into our, now will be our basement, but at the time was our garage, a sunken den, if you will, to kind of set the stage a little bit. What I did was I took carpet squares and I laid out these carpet squares in such a way that it kept the light from reflecting in the room, as carpet does. I took some garage door insulation and I lined the inside of the garage door. Took blackout curtains and hung them up. So the room is extremely dark. It's very cold. So what I decided to do is I was going to go in there and crank up some new hardware I had. So what I did was I took my brand new Xbox One and I plugged it up. I turned on the TV screen and the light started flickering. I had my headphones on as to increase the ambience from the sound. And I kept hearing this noise. I kept seeing this image pop up after I plugged in the Xbox. And then I realized that the game I was playing was motherfucking Call of Duty Ghost, baby! It's the best freaking game ever!
I definitely thought you were going somewhere else with that. And we were about to have words.
Nah, dude, I was playing Call of Duty Ghosts. The best ghost story I can tell in gaming is actually the story of Call of Duty Ghosts. It's a alternate timeline, alternate universe where a nuclear war has broken out in the Middle East, and these giant satellites are positioned over orbiting the Earth, and they have these giant rods in them. Once unleashed, just complete ultimate devastation. So, definitely excellent game. I mean, I set the stage to be a bit of a joke, but yes, Call of Duty Ghost is in fact one of my greatest ghost stories because that extinction mode, man, is so good. That campaign's so good. Chef's kiss. So
you still need you have not played this new one yet. Oh my god!
I'll play it. I'll definitely play it. It's gonna happen. It's gonna happen. I play all the Call of Duties. I will say this so far. In recent memory, I think the only campaign I haven't finished is Vanguard.
Same.
It's just not great. It's the production value is amazing. The graphics are amazing. The sound is amazing. The voice acting is really good. I just don't care for what I'm doing. Like, it's just not great. I don't know. I don't know if something's not clicking and I don't know what it is. So I haven't finished it. I'm a few levels in, but nothing crazy. All right, Clyde, you're up. Next, I won't tell a silly story next time.
Okay, so picture this. It's like, I don't know, 6:00 at night when this happened. I'll never forget this.
So it was bedtime, Grandma?
It was. It was. It's funny you say that. Just listen. So I was playing one of my favorite games, Monster Hunter. Love that game. Playing it on the Switch. And the nice person I am decided I was going to help Joe level up his character and get into the game. So I'm sitting there and I'm waiting. I'm like, okay, Joe. He's like, I'll be right back. I'm like, okay. So I'm waiting to start for him to pick the next actual mission. I'm waiting. I'm like, Joe, are you there? Joe, are you there? He had fallen asleep and ghosted my ass.
And that was when she looked down Jim's pants and found the real monster.
Whoa, dang! That's a good one. That's a good one, Kalai.
I think Kalai's already run out of ghost stories.
That's a good ghost story. I don't know. Joe Ghost is pretty regular, so.
Yeah, I have a lot of them.
He ghosted Tricky. He was supposed to be on Trophy Horse, and he ghosted Tricky.
He did ghost Tricky, and Tricky was like, "Can you record?" I'm like, "I am so sorry, I cannot."
Ah,
all right, Zach, you're up.
All right, so not a gaming ghost story, a real ghost story. We are pretty sure that my house is actually haunted.
Okay.
So there is a multitude of random things that have just happened in my house. Like randomly in the middle of the night, you'll hear footsteps and no one's up walking around. Most recently, I was sitting at the table in the dining room, and my wife was in the kitchen making something, and she felt somebody like poke her or tap her or something. She just thought it was me, but then she looked over, and I was still sitting at the dining room table. She was like, if I tell you this can't be like weird. I'm pretty sure I thought you just poked me. I was like, no, I've been sitting here the whole time talking to you. I don't know what you're talking about. And so she's been a little freaked out, but there's this app that you can get on your phone called GhostTube, and it works kind of similar to all the other ghost tools that you can use in the world. I mean, your phone is literally, it has a radio and all that good jazz in it. Well, we were asking it questions, and it said something about the attic. And in the 2 years I lived in my house, I had never went in my attic. Just because I've never had the need or want or necessity to go into my attic. So I go up in my attic, and I actually start going through. There's a bunch of stuff up in my attic from like the owners that built the house. And it's like old. Like I found a conservation booklet from 1948 in my attic.
Dang.
There are love letters from the original owner to his wife when he was in the Marine Corps and deployed overseas.
Aw.
Like it's really, yeah, I actually ended up finding the person's granddaughter because they obviously had a lot of them.
Her granddaughter was in the attic.
Yes. Yeah. It was really weird. I'm surprised she was still squatting in there after 2 years.
I have a question. How did you find this house that like their stuff is still there? You know what I mean?
I rent. I don't even own the house. I rent from somebody, and I guess the last owner bought the house in 2012. And I think that was around the time that both of them ended up passing away because I found their obituaries. That's how I ended up. Yeah, that's how I found their granddaughter's name. And then I was like, found her on Facebook. I was like, hey, I found some of your grandparents' old things. I don't know if this is something like you'd want to have. Because I also found like the original warranty receipt from Zales when like Zales was like the first thing for like her wedding ring and like the empty box and like a bunch of old stuff. Like there's like a Wells Fargo sign, like the old like Western Wells Fargo. There's like old A&W cups, like old cookie cutters, like
eBay that junk. I'm telling you, you just found a gold mine.
Yeah, but I was nice and I returned most of it to the family. It wasn't mine to begin with.
You're right.
Yeah, I'm a good person. But yeah, no. To this day, I still hear people like walking like around my house, and no one's walking around my house. My daughter's even said she's like looked out the window and she saw somebody like standing behind the tree out in our front yard. And it was weird because it was like right after it rained, so there'd be like definite footprints in the grass or something like that, and there was nothing there. I don't know. Yeah, I'm pretty sure that there's a ghost walking around my house.
Dang, dude!
And they don't mind talking to us either. That's the weird part. It's like I'll bring this app out and I'll ask it questions, and then it'll say who. Like it was weird. Once we had our roommates move in recently, it was like the first time that my brother-in-law's girlfriend had ever like stayed at the house, and we were sitting there talking to it, and it was like, who is she, or who are they, or something like that. And I was like, who, this person, or who, this person? And they're like, next to brother. And I was like, okay. And I was like, well, this is Jerica. And then it just randomly talked to us, and it's weird because like how a phone app would make that like connection. I don't know. Spooky.
Interesting. That's definitely some spooky stuff. I have a legit spooky gaming story. And this will come as a little surprise. All right. So if you listen to the show for any amount of time, you'll know that I'm a very religious man. And there are certain things I just don't F with. Okay. There's just stuff that I don't mess with. And anything in the demonic Ouija board, anything in that realm, I got nothing for it. Okay. So I'm sitting back. This is, what year did was it 2012 when the actual Walking Dead video game came out? It was, I think so.
Sure.
Around that time frame, the original Telltale's Walking Dead video game. Okay. I was a fan of the show. I've already played through the Walking Dead game on the PlayStation Vita and the PS3, got those platinums, and I was playing through on the Xbox 360. Now I already knew the story. I've already played through multiple ways, okay? So I'm going to set the stage. I was in my recording studio. I'm just kidding. I really was. I was in my recording studio, and I had like my gaming gear set up through my studio monitors, and I had a giant subwoofer. Okay. And so what I've got two screens going. I'm playing on the Xbox 360 and I'm watching the movie The Right. You guys familiar with that movie? It's Anthony Hopkins in it. I believe it's Anthony Hopkins. I believe that's the right one. Let me make sure I'm saying that right. Yep. Anthony, it's The Right. Okay. Now, everybody knows I'm a big horror fan. I love zombies. I love vampires, werewolves. I dig spooky stuff. I like games where, the tension is really high, the atmosphere is really high. And that's what I love about horror stuff is the atmosphere. Okay. I love gore horror. I think that stuff's awesome as well. But again, when you start getting into the weird demonic stuff, like there's something about the unnerving possibility that could be legit. That just really, like you're talking about with your ghost story right here, Zach. The fact that there is a possibility that something that you can't see could be communicating with you, and their will could be to harm you that's no for me. No. I don't want nothing to do with that. Okay. So I'm sitting in my office. It really is dark. The kids are in bed, and I've got the movie going through my surround sound. Now, I've never watched this movie. And it had been years and years and years since I'd seen like a Paranormal Activity or a Exorcist style movie. I watched all those movies, when I was younger. We owned a video store when I was growing up. So like the Exorcist movies I watched, the Poltergeist movies I watched, they scared the crap out of me. Like that was no joke. That stuff scared me to death. I love the movie Constantine with Keanu Reeves. But even then, and that was a little more fantastical when it comes to the spiritual stuff. But even then, there's still something a little creepy about demon possession and things of that nature. So I'm sitting there and I'm just kind of going through the motions on my game while I have the movie The Rite going on. Now they get to the point where they're going to do this exorcism in the movie. Okay. And this is a very wild scene. So you have Anthony Hopkins. Okay. And he's talking to the person who's possessed, and it's really ramping up the tension, right? It's getting really loud. And he's like, this person who's demon possessed, he's yelling at him. And it's like, gets to this point where he says, tell me your name. What is the name of the spirit inside you? There's this whole buildup, right? And he's wanting the thing to announce what it is inside so he can cast the demon out. But that scene, as it ramped up the tension and it built up that aggression, and he calls for that demon to reveal itself, bruh, I had full-blown body chills. It got ice cold in my room. And I was like, nope. I turned that junk off as fast as I could. I was like, I don't want to hear it. Dude, my heart was racing. And I'm like, wait a second. Like, what if? This is where my head went. What if I'm at home, my wife's at work, okay? I got my children in bed. What if I F around and I watch this movie and this dude calls out this demon's name, and I invite some kind of wild and funky trash into my house, in my spiritual life? I was like, nope. I mean, like, that sounds absolutely ridiculous. But that is immediately where my head went. And that is immediately, I felt that. You know what I'm saying? Like, I had chill bumps. I was cold. I was like, no, I'm out. I turned that movie off and I've never watched it.
Have you ever seen Evil on Paramount Plus?
No, I have not.
I'm not really into scary shit, but I swear to God, watch it. Like, if you want to see some...
Oh, that's the cop one, right?
No, the one with Mike Coulter.
Is it a movie or a TV show?
It's a TV show.
Yeah, I've seen it. It's like the cop one, yeah.
No, he's not a cop. He's a priest.
Oh, yeah. Sorry.
He's a priest who works with a psychologist whose entire job is to, like... He has to come out to see if they fit the criteria to be exorcised. And... meantime, she goes with them because she's the scientific person. They have two scientists and a priest. They have to decide. You have to be like, oh no, this isn't really right for exorcism. This is the psychological or the medical reason that this is happening. And which is like, I'm like, oh, this is really cool. But then you have all of this demon ass shit going on in the background. It's like, what the hell?
I was like, nope. Yeah, that was a strong no for me. And I up to that point, there had never been a movie that scared me. Like, I grew up watching horror movies at such a young age. I've always thought I was desensitized to these things. And I watched, you guys remember, you probably don't, Zach, because you're still a boy, but Clyde, do you remember when we were younger, the Faces of Death movies, where it was like VHS footage of people being killed on camera, essentially?
Oh, hell no. Are you kidding? When I was a little kid, I watched Nightmare on Elm Street. It scared me so bad. I had to sleep in my mom's room for a week. I was banned from ever watching that movie again. But that shit was one of my favorite movies. So, like, I would always watch it, and then I'd get nightmares and have to sleep in my mom's room, and she would know that I watched it because I.
Yep. Well,
What you mean, Kalai? When you were young, the Munsters was on TV.
Hey, that was a good show. Don't knock the monster.
It was on TV when I was a kid too. So check it out. There was this VHS series that was it was like, because this is this is really early internet. This is like AOL, like 256K dial up. You know what I'm saying? And there was this series that you had to order through a magazine, and you had to have, at least in my memory, you had to have a dealer's license to buy these movies, to rent them out at your video stores and stuff. But they were called The Faces of Death. And it was essentially like video camera footage of people either killing themselves or mutilating themselves, or like sometimes it was like people walking across like a crosswalk and getting hit by cars and stuff like that. Like just really ultra violent things. There's this one scene where like this Korean family or something was eating. It was this little girl playing with like a monkey, like a baboon monkey or whatever. And then like later on, they crack the thing's skull open. They pull its brains out and they start cooking the thing or whatever. It's just like this wild, weird stuff that my memories of them are just like awful. Dudes trying to like break beer bottles over their heads, but like just gouging their body, like because the bottle wouldn't break, so they're just busting themselves open, like just crazy stuff, right? Things that you just like don't forget, especially at a young age. So I thought I was desensitized to all this stuff. I was like, oh man, I'm a horror guy, I'm like a gore guy, I'm a blah blah blah. And then I go years and years and years kind of like away from that stuff, even though I still watch like zombie movies and zombie shows and stuff. And I spent like 6.5 years working in the church. I've seen some messed up people. I've worked with some people who legitimately, either they were extremely mentally distressed.
I know that this is a Halloween episode, but you really shouldn't talk about Tricky like that.
I know. But we've been around people. We've had people that they very much resembled some of the stuff in these horror movies. And bro, when I watched that movie, I was like, I can't with this. I can't. I've seen too much stuff in my life. I was like, I'm not strong no more. I ain't tough no more. I got kids. I'm a wimp. I turned that junk off. I was like, I'm out. Never again. I'm done. No more demon possession, exorcism movies. You boys found the end.
Okay, so you want to hear something funny? So I looked up that movie. They made 6 of them, by the way.
Mm-hmm.
In June of 1985, a mathematics teacher, Bart Schwartz, showed the film to his class at Escondido High School in Escondido, California. 2 of his students, I'm not going to say their names, claimed they were so traumatized by the film that they both developed an unnatural fear of dying and suffered emotional distress. The families of the 2 girls sued the school district and received a combined $100,000 settlement.
Which in 1985, that was essentially $1 million.
Yeah, they sued the school district. But apparently it wasn't like an actual like real stuff. It was all faked.
So it's all a hoax.
Yeah, so it's literally, the plot is it even has a cast.
Oh wow, that's interesting. So see, and that was the thing, is I was young. I mean, I was born in 85.
You can actually watch that right now on the Roku channel for free.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
That would be interesting to go back now, because I believe I was like 10 or 11 when I saw those, because me and my friends would sneak and watch them. It'd be interesting, because that was kind of like how the Blair Witch was. I don't know if you guys remember. Clyde, you probably remember. Again, this is before Zach's time. But when the Blair Witch Project came out, that was like the biggest thing in the media, because they're like, this is real. This is found footage.
I know. And I saw it and found it absolutely stupid.
Oh, dude, I thought it was awesome.
Get out. Get out my podcast room right now.
Like, I just didn't get it. I was like, I don't get this. Why is it so like me and my husband are like, I don't know.
Dude, oh man, I went to the theaters and saw it, and that scene at the end, whenever that person's in the little room or whatever in that basement area with them, oh, bro. We're like, dude, it's a ghost. We saw it. It was wild. So, I totally bought into the hype.
Yeah, so here's the plot for you. A coroner shows scenes of gruesome deaths from around the world. Some of them real and some reenacted.
Ah, okay.
So
okay.
some of what you see is what you've seen is real.
Okay. See, I was so young, I would have never known the difference.
And the first one, and the first one used fake footage to get fame, and then the second one used real footage, with the exception of like 2 or 3 scenes.
Wait, and what year did this come out?
1978 was the original, and then following that, 1981 number 2 came out. 85, 3, 87. The original Worst of Faces of Death. 4 came out in 90. 5 came out in 95, and 6 came out in 96.
It's wild. Yeah. Well, and based on my memory from being a young lad, I don't recommend watching it. It was awful. But I mean, right then it was like, oh my gosh, can you believe that? I watched it. So,
hey, 77% of Google users liked the movie, like the first one. So there you go.
Interesting. Well, it was definitely something different. All right, guys, this has been a very fun, spooky episode of the Loot Bros podcast. Thank you, Zach, for coming on. Thank you, Kalai, for being here. You guys got anything else you want to get out of your system? Any more spooky stories you want to tell before we bounce?
Not that I can think of. Go play Marvel Snap.
Oh.
Hey, we are not getting paid. Quit plugging stuff.
Hey, I got one more ghost story to tell you guys.
Oh boy. Is it gonna make my pee go doing 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 doing?
Maybe. So way back in the early days of the Loot Bros podcast, we recorded episode 49. Okay, episode 49. We had some scheduling issues. Okay, so because the scheduling issues presented themselves, I reached out to my good friend Tricky Mick. I was like, hey, man, will you do episode 50 with me? Back then, we used to actually have episode numbers. And I was like, yeah, will you do episode 50 with me? The guys keep having issues showing up, blah, blah, blah. At the time, they were notorious for ghosting me. Okay? Like, it would be showtime, and Frosty would be nowhere to be found, no messages, no nothing. Josh, completely MIA, weeks at a time. And then T-Bird would say, I'll be there until it's time to hit go. And then he was like, I'm not coming. So episode 50 rolls around. I record an episode with Tricky Mick. And then I get some text messages from my team about, hey, they didn't know that I recorded episode 50. Okay. Had it in the can just in case I needed, whatever. So it is podcast time. And it's like, hey, nobody, crickets. Podcast time comes and goes. I of course, say in the messenger group, I'm like, hey guys, you're coming? T-Bird says no, nothing from Josh, nothing from Frosty. So the next day, oh man, sorry guys, some things came up, blah, blah, blah. I'm like, that's all good. Don't worry about it. I recorded with Tricky. It was fine. From that point on, I no longer have co-hosts because they missed the monumental, in quotations, episode 50. That was the end of it. So, that was a true story, true ghost story.
I mean, he wasn't called the walking idea for no reason.
There's a wandering idea. He was gone. He's gone, girl. And Frosty followed suit. Got mad because I recorded without him when he ghosted me. So the moral of the story is, don't get dead.
Don't ghost Resident Darrell, even though Resident Darrell ghosted us last week.
I text you guys.
I know.
Oh.
I just got to give you crap. You give us crap all the time.
I always let you guys know, even if it's just a few minutes beforehand.
Hey, prepare something. I know we're supposed to record tonight. Prepare something.
Yeah.
Now we just ask the question. Hey, Darrell, are you recording this week?
Yeah,
no. All right. Got it.
The good thing is that I let you guys know ahead of time that my job schedule now could very much interfere with the podcast at the very last second. Now I try really hard not to let that happen, but it is very common for a borrower to call after they get off work and or get out of their life to a certain point. And then they're like, hey, can you work on my file? Now, like today, at like almost 5 o'clock, I get a call that I've got a contract in for a new loan. Cool. And then the borrowers want to get on the phone and start working through the process. I'm totally cool with that. Sometimes it's not 5. Sometimes it's 6. Sometimes it's 7. Sometimes it's 8. Sometimes it's 9. And no exaggeration. One time I was with my brother and my sister. We'll end the show after this. I kid you not. The borrower was stationed in Korea. And he was buying property in the States while he was on deployment. And he was going to rent the property out. And because of the time zone differences, he called at almost midnight. It was like between 11 and 12. He was calling and texting my sister, who at the time was just doing some late night training with me and my brother before we jumped into the mortgage business full time. We were just working on credit reports, just trying to learn more. And she didn't have my niece that night. And I'm like, legit, like this dude, like y'all talking at midnight? Like, but for him, it was whatever the F time it is in Korea. Sometimes it'd be like that.
And we love you and understand.
Yeah. So, all right. This has been Loot Bros Podcast. Appreciate you guys for listening. Thank you guys for coming on. Zach, I see your new mic and I like it.
It has some issues. It's but I mean it's better than forgetting my headset mic. So
there you go. It's portable, so that's nice to have. All right, guys, be sure to check out all the stuff. Join the Discord. Get in the Facebook group. Send in all of your Ghost of Tsushima questions, comments, concerns, thoughts, ideas, reviews, all that stuff. We're going to be talking about Ghost of Tsushima next week on the podcast. So, all of our focus is going to be on that show, and I'm bringing on a rowdy crew. So go ahead and grab onto your butts and get ready. So, we're out of here. Spooky stories.
Spooky. Ooh.
Ghost stories. Like Joe. For ghosting us. Like always. Joe, sorry about your butt. Your ghost butt. You suck.